Right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Indian Constitution Day. And today we have a very distinguished speaker, Professor Vijay Lakshmi, Principal, Law College, University College of Law, Osmania University. And Madam has a lot of experience, lot of expertise, and she's a senior faculty. And first of all, I thank our director, Anuradha Dalmia Madam, and our respected Deputy Director, Major B.V. Ramkumar, for giving permission to conduct this program. And welcome all once again. And I request Professor Vijay Lakshmi Madam to start the session. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, Vijay Lakshmi ma'am, you have to unmute yourself, ma'am. Unmute.
Sorry. Yeah. Very good morning to all of you, and happy Constitutional Day. I wish from my side. And sir, whether video should be on or off?
Yeah, video should be on, ma'am.
Okay. So today we gathered here like online to know the importance of the constitutional or Constitution Day as such. So the Constitution is such a kind of document where every individual is benefited from that particular document. Thank for the freedom fighters who brought independence for us. And today we stand here because of their sacrifice, their struggle. And I also bow my head to all the framers of the Constitution, and in specific, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the chairman of the drafting committee. As far as the Constitution is concerned, this is a Gita for Hindus, it may be a Quran for Muslims, or it may be a Bible for Christians. Why I'm using these words? I'm not against any other religion as such, but why I'm using these words, I'll let you know at the end of the session. Our Indian Constitution is a unique document. Unique because we have a number of articles incorporated in this Constitution, and this is one of the world's lengthiest written Constitution. When it came into implementation, it was consisting of 395 articles, and which was divided into 22 parts and 8 schedules. Different parts of the Constitution have been taken from different constitutions. Like, for example, if you take the parliamentary form of government, it has been taken from the British model because the parliamentary form of government is very well working at that moment in the British country as such. And apart from that, when you see the fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy, which are the heart of the Constitution, that has been taken from the American Constitution and also from the Irish Constitution. Why we have included the other people's constitution in our Constitution? The reason is we are united as we are all Indians, but at the same time, we have n number of religions followed in India, n number of castes, creeds. So we are united as an Indian, but we are diverse as based upon religions as such. So the framers of the constitution felt that it is important to bring all the people on one platform as such, and that made the framers of the constitution to incorporate all the merits of the different constitutions in the Indian constitution. And that is the reason this constitution, though after 70 years also it is working without any, though there are some amendments to the constitution, like more than 100 amendments have been made, but a country like India, where the population is more and at the same time we have a number of diversities, and also we are running the government as such. So because of that reason, we incorporated all the merits of different constitutions, and today we are celebrating the constitutional day. As far as the preamble is concerned, what is meant by preamble? Preamble is the heart of the constitution. It is for the why we have to go for preamble as such. Preamble is the synopsis of the constitution. We can say the importance has to be given to the preamble because it is being made for the people, by the people, and to the people as such. So here the purpose of preamble is to see that to whom we are giving the constitution. The constitution is for ourselves, for the citizens of India. And who is framing the constitution? It is we, the people. So the people is going to be the sovereigns, and people is going to be ruled, and people is going to be ruled. So the purpose of the preamble is to know that what is the essence of the constitution, what is the importance of the constitution, and who are being governed by this constitution, right from the first citizen of the country, right from the first citizen of the state, the powers of the government, the powers of the state, the powers of the president, everything has been given under the constitution itself. It may be, we have the three different organs, important organs like the legislature, executive, and the judiciary, as you know. And these three important organs do have independency in between themselves, and at the same time there is an interlink or interrelationship between these three organs also. And as far as the judiciary is concerned, judiciary plays a greater role in case of the constitution as such. The importance has been given more and more to the judiciary, and it may be in the form of interpretation, it may be in the form of discretionary powers to the judicial officers. Everything has been given under the constitution as such. So, excuse me. So the preamble says that we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Why we need sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic? Because here, as just now I told you, that the people are of different languages, different regions, religions, all are being of different kind and nature, but still we are united. So because, excuse me, because of that reason, we need justice for all, we need equality for all, we need liberty for all, and we need overall fraternity among the citizens of the country. So justice, these are the four pillars of the constitution, that is justice, liberty, equality, fraternity as such. As far as the individuals are concerned, governments are concerned, yes, the constitution has been very clearly mentioned that how the government has to be formed, who is the head of the government, who is the head of the de facto and de jure, all are being given under the Indian constitution. Apart from that, when we come to the individuals as such, we have rights as well as duties upon each and every citizen of the country. When we say the rights of the individuals, there are two types of rights basically we can speak about. That is the fundamental rights and the directive principles of state policy. Sorry for the inconvenience. So, as far as the directive principles and the fundamental rights of the state policy, these have been incorporated for the benefit of the general public or for the citizens of the country as such. Not only for the citizens of the country, it also extends to the people who are residing from outside also, but it has been restricted to a particular stage as such. So apart from the fundamental rights and the directive principles, we also have fundamental duties upon us. In each and every case, whenever we see the law, we have rights and duties. The two sides of the coin are, one side it is the rights and the other side it is the duties. So when we are fighting for our rights, we are supposed to perform our duties also. So that is the basic thing. And in the Constitution also, it says that you do have right. At the same time, you do have a duty upon you to perform. So the first we'll discuss about the fundamental rights as such. Fundamental rights are the basic rights of the citizens. Fundamental rights are the human rights. As far as the fundamental rights are concerned, we have a number of fundamental rights like right to equality, right to freedom, right to religious and cultural freedom, and right to assembly, right to religion, right to constitutional remedies. All these are the different rights which have been incorporated under the Indian Constitution and which have been given for the citizens of the country as such. Here we are not discriminating upon caste, creed, religion as such, or whether the person is a rich person or the poor person. It is immaterial. We say that every right is there. All the fundamental rights are meant for the citizens as such. So fundamental rights are those rights which are being based upon the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. When we see Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it is somewhat similar. The right to equality and all the fundamental rights are similar, which we have incorporated under the the Indian Constitution as such. Among the fundamental rights, again, we can say that Article 14 and 21 are the rights which are more important for each and every individual. Article 14 deals with a right to equality as such. Right to equality here, why we are incorporating right to equality under the Indian Constitution? The reason is here there are right from we can say ancient times onwards, we are based upon or we are following the Varna system or the caste system, which is prevailing, of course, till today also, but it may not have that much effect as such. But when the Constitution was framed by the framers, then they felt that all should be equal before law. Here, equality before law and equal protection of laws as such. So here we can say that all the people, whoever, for example, if you take a criminal act committed by a person, either we are not going to see that whether the person is a influenced person or a poor person. We are supposed to give justice to all the people as such. So that is the reason where we say that equality before law means all are equal before the law as such. So, and apart from that, equal protection of laws means here a number of people are there where there may be, for example, if you take giving equal protection to the people, like, for example, a person completed a diploma, a person completed a degree. We cannot see that both are on the same platform as such. Though the diploma candidate is an educated person and the degree candidate is also an educated person, but the capacity of that person is different. So here, though they are unequals, we can say here they are unequals, but they are equals as a citizen of the country, he is equal to enjoy all the rights. But at the same time, as a citizen, as an individual, because based upon the capacity of the person, we may say that these people are unequal. So we apply the right to equality for all the people, depending upon the status, depending upon the. I don't mean to say that depending upon the status means the educational status. I mean to say, but not the what is the economic status of the person. So apart from that, we have under the constitution or in specific under the equality, we can say that all are equal before law. Means the men and women are equal. Children has the rights to enjoy, but at the same time, when you see the Article 15, Clause 1 and Clause 3, here there is a slight difference where we say that irrespective of caste, creed and religion, we are going to apply or we are going to enjoy the rights which have been given under the Indian Constitution as far as 15 is said. We are not going to discriminate the citizens based upon caste, creed, place of birth, religion, or it may be gender, it may be, or what you call it as based upon the social status or economic status of the person is not going to be considered. So we say that all are equal before the law. And once we see the women as such, women and children under the from the as just now I discussed about the from the ancient times onwards, we are following the different Varna, we are based upon the Varna system as such. In the same way, when we see the right to equality, here again the women are being discriminated or women are being, it is not the fault of any person as such, but the society was in such a way that the women has been given the second grade position, or she was subordinate to the male person as such. That was one of the area where the framers felt that there must be positive discrimination here. We are not saying negative discrimination. Positive discrimination means here we are supporting the women to come par with that of the men. So here we are saying that the women has to be uplifted, the women has to be supported. Here no discrimination among the women also, but still we say that yes, the women must be supported or supporting a women, yes, by at the home we do support, but at the same time when it comes to the society as such, where the women is again, as far as the India is concerned, this is a male-dominated society and the women are being deprived in all the angles as such. So that is the reason the framers felt that the Article 15, Clause 3 has to be incorporated, and the positive discrimination means we have to give certain relaxations for the women and children so that the women can also participate equally with that of the men, and she can also be one of the person or as we said that all are equal before law as such. So the equality may be maintained. That is the reason the positive discrimination has also been incorporated under the Indian Constitution. This is one of the important aspect as far as Constitution is concerned. Though we say that all are equal, but again inequalities are there between the among the gender people as such. And apart from that, when we say that the right to freedom as such, right to freedom is a right where each and every person is having, but at the same time when it comes to employment as such, then again we say that everyone, the term everyone or anyone cannot join any department as such. As far as the foreigners are concerned, we do not give that provision, or we do not see that they enjoy the employment in India as such. Of course, every citizen do have a right to employment, right to assembly, right to association, right to union as such, and they can move from one place to another place and they can practice any profession. But as far as here, certain restrictions are there upon the foreigners where they come for a particular period of time and they do not have such type of, though they have the freedom to move, but at the same time they do not have the freedom to assemble or form a union or talk something against the the government as such. So that provision is not been, or that facility for the foreigners has not been given. Yes, of course, because they are residing temporarily in India, we can say that the life and liberty of the person will be secured, or it is the duty of the state. But at the same time, we do not provide the provisions where it says that the person can go against the government of India or the existing scenario, political scenario as such. So as far as the right to practice any profession is concerned, yes, every person is having the right, every citizen is having the right. At the same time, when it comes to male and female, when the person as a female, if she is working in any organization or department, or it may be a private organization, the one important aspect, that is the sexual harassment at workplace, is prevalent nowadays, which has been came into picture or limelight by the Vishaka's case as such, where she was harassed by the people. So this aspect has not been covered either under the Indian Penal Code or elsewhere under any other statutes. So it was the Constitution which gave the space for this particular wrongful act, and it has been again, today we have the prevention of sexual harassment at workplace, and a special law has been enacted for that particular crime as such. Apart from that, we say that as far as freedom to a person, which includes right to life and liberty. Here, the life and liberty, we can say that yes, every person is having a right to life, and at the same time, he or she is having the right to move anywhere. She is at liberty to adopt or take up any profession as such, or enjoy her life. But at the same time, when we say under the Constitution, we have how the life and liberty is secured. There are two angles for life and liberty. One is from the accused person side, that is a person who has committed a wrongful act, or we may not say that he has committed a wrongful act, but an allegation has been brought against the person. And here, if a person has been alleged by a criminal wrong as such, then his life is also to be secured. Unlike if a person has been alleged and he's been behind the bars as an under trial prisoner, it is the duty of the state to complete the trial in a speedy manner by applying the provisions like fair trial or the principles of natural justice, or we are not restricting the person for or we are not leaving the person for custodial violence or custodial death as such. So here, as an individual, he is also having a right to live as in par with that of other citizens as such. So the provisions under the Indian Constitution, this is one of the unique features of the Indian Constitution. We are not talking about the rights of the individual who is outside the prisons, or I'm not saying that each and every person has to be behind the bars so that the provisions are going to be applied. No, but unfortunately or fortunately, if any person is being behind the bars as an under trial prisoner or as a prisoner, or the proceedings are going against the person, then it is the duty of the state. So the duty of the state is being given under the Constitution, which says that yes, if any person as a accused person is as an under trial, as an and a trial prisoner, it is the duty of the state. The Constitution itself provides for speedy trial, because when you see the criminal cases, a number of years have been taken to complete the case. So that is the reason speedy trial is, the Constitution demands for speedy trial. The Constitution demands for fair trial. The Constitution demands for principles of natural justice. The Constitution demands for, what you say, there must be certain restrictions on a death sentence, where we cannot impose death sentence in each and every case. And also, if a person is as an under trial prisoner, if the person is being kept, then you're not supposed to use any kind of violence against him. And also the police torture, which is one of the major aspects in the rural areas, that has to be completely to be prohibited. And also, whenever any person is being unnecessarily arrested, or any false prosecution has been made against him, then it is the duty of the state to provide damages or compensation, as in the case of civil or criminal matters. These provisions are not only applicable to the Indian people as such. Even if the foreigner is also a victim, then they are also to be provided with, compensation as such. This is one angle of right to life. The other angle is where the right to life has been seen from the other side of the angle, right to quality life. Here, the Constitution, the right to life, the scope of the right to life has been expanded as the society is been developing. Right to life here, not only living as a human being, but we need a quality life, and also the means of livelihood, where the right to life includes when you are living, how to live, what are the means to live, and at the same time, not only living with a good condition, but whenever a person is sick, then the right to medical care is also included. So here I mean to say that right to life, it is the scope of right to life is of that kind of a scope where we extend not only for the person to be alive, but in a condition where he can survive. And if he is not well, then the medical facilities. If the person is, a child, then we say that the person has to be educated in the same way at the same time. And one of the important right for the individual is right to privacy, which is of the modern times, where we do use different, the technology as such, where the person is being either, for example, if you take the privacy can be discussed, the individual privacy as well as the privacy by the use of technology. So here, as far as the individual privacy is concerned, yes, this is a new concept under the Indian Constitution, where it has been recognized when any individual is being injured or any individual's privacy is being disturbed, then yes, the act may be brought under the right to life, which is part of the right to life as such. And also, as the technology is being used by a number of people, not only in India, throughout the world, that either it may be phone trapping, either it may be to the cell phones or to the systems or to the laptops. All these are injuring or damaging the reputation of the person, or mentally, physically, the person may be injured as such. So in that way, we are not only covering the scope of right to life is not been confined only to the life as such. It is extended from life to the health, from the health, it may be for the education, from the education, it may be to the privacy of the person. Not only that, every person is having the right from birth till the death. I'm not saying that right to die is a fundamental right, but at the same time, right to excuse me, right for last rights of the dead person is also important. So every person expects that. Why I'm discussing this particular aspect is because during the pandemic period, the dead bodies have been thrown on in the outskirts. Yes, the reason may be, just a moment, please. Sorry. During the pandemic period, the dead bodies have been burnt like anything without any last rites or something like that. So, because of that reason, every person expects the last rights also. So it may be the right to marriage, it may be right to procuring children, everything are being included, including the right to reputation of a person as such. Yes, these rights are also available to the foreigners also, but they have been restricted at the same time. So when you say that right to life and liberty, here we are including a number of rights under the right to life and liberty. This is one of the important article 21, which is where the individual is being safeguarded, we can say, safeguarded by the Constitution as such. Apart from the right to life, we have the different rights like right against exploitation. This is one area where, though it has been punishable under the criminal law for exploiting the children in the form of, or it may be children or the adults, it may be in the form of abduction, or it may be in the form of kidnapping or forced labor or slavery, or it may be trafficking, which is one of the important wrongful act which is committed where the people are being, especially the women are being transported from one place to another place, or they are being indulged in unlawful activities as such, we can say. So that has to be prohibited. See, the crime is increasing. It is a traditional crime, we can say, right from the ancient times onwards. Till today also it is existing in one form or the other form. But at the same time, the Constitution, the framers of the Constitution felt that, yes, this has to be stopped at one way or the other, and it has been incorporated under the Indian Constitution as such. And apart from that, right to religion, right to religion is that kind of a right where every person is having a right to every person is having a faith in their own God as such. It may be the Muslims or Christians or any Hindu as such. But at the same time, when you can see the gender discrimination at religious places, as far as I mean to say that the Sabarimala case, where the women have been from n number of years, the women have been not allowed into the temple as such, where the person is above 10 years or below 50 years as such. So here it is the discrimination. We can say that, though the rules which have been framed by that particular temple may be different, but the human rights concept, if you see, every person is having a
Madam.
right to. Yes, sir.
Madam, I think we have spent around 35 minutes, ma'am. What we can do, ma'am, we can take up the questions, ma'am. Maybe I have few questions also.
Okay. So I'll wind up within 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll take up the questions, sir.
Yeah, 5 minutes, ma'am. Please. Thank you.
So apart from the fundamental rights, the directive principle, yes, exploitation of the people, or the rights to, what you say, the discrimination in the among the individuals as such. And apart from that, we have the directive principles of state policy where the economic social goals are to be taken up by the states. As far as the directive principles and the fundamental rights are concerned, here there is a difference between the directive principles and the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are justifiable in the court of law, but directive principles are the principles which have been imposed upon the state to be implemented. So it may be in the form of the wages for the laborers, or it may be compulsory education, or it may be in the form of uniform civil code where all the women are being brought par with the other people as such. And apart from that, one important aspect in case of the directive principles is the legal aid which is to be provided for each and every person. So apart from that, we have the fundamental duties which have been imposed upon us. The fundamental rights and the directive principles are the rights which are meant for the citizens as such. And as far as the duties are concerned, yes, we are supposed to respect our constitution and we are supposed to respect our national flag and the national anthem. Apart from that, the sovereignty, the integrity of the country has to be taken care by each and every individual. So here, when we see the importance of the constitution has been framed in such a way that if you compare with the other countries, the other countries do not have all the provisions what we have under our Indian constitution. The constitution of India has given, or it has the open way where we can include a number of acts as such. Because of that reason, nearly 103 amendments are being made to the Indian Constitution. We also not only the constitutional provisions, but at the same time, we also pave way for the enactment of different special laws for the upliftment of the downtrodden people. Like, for example, if you take the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, the prevention of SAST atrocities, or the Minimum Wages Act, or the Code of Wages, or the consumer protection laws for each and every consumer, or it may be the Information Technology Act where the cybercrimes have been taken care of, or it may be in the form of equal remuneration, or it may be any number of acts have been enacted due to the Constitution itself, where the it may be, again, when we say the rights of the women, it may be in the Shabanu's case, or it may be the triple talaq case, or decriminalization of adultery, or Section 377, where the human rights of the third genders are being considered, and it may be harassment at workplace, or it may be at home in the form of domestic violence. All these are the provisions which are somewhere linked with the Indian Constitution as such. So the Constitution is that kind of a book, or that kind of a document where each and every person, either belonging to a particular religion, because of that reason, in the starting of the lecture, I said that it may be a Bible, it may be a Quran, it may be a Bhagavad, and every person here, we are not discriminating upon religion, but it is a book, a document which is benefiting each and every individual as such, right from the women, right from the children, right from and also we have a number of the duties or the rights which have been incorporated under the Indian Constitution. It may be the domestic servants, it may be the social security for the individuals who are working in different areas, or it may be a government servant who is working in a government department, or it may be the rights of the children, like the compulsory education as such, and it may be in the form of any, if you want to find any answer, your document is there, that is the Indian Constitution, where you can find the solution. You may not find in your separate statutes or special laws as such, but it may be find in your, the Indian Constitution. So I see that the Indian Constitution is the document where we are enjoying the fruits of the Indian Constitution till today. Yes, after so many years also, we feel that some people are not been till today are not been benefited, but yes, we are to most of the people are being benefited, but there are still to be done. And though it is a big country, we are the people who are supposed to see that the implementation of the laws are to be perfect. And if they are being implemented in a proper way by the governments or by the states, then automatically whatever intended by the framers of the constitution will come into the picture as such, or all the individuals or citizens are going to be benefited. By this, I thank Krishna sir for giving me this opportunity, and I also thank Krishna Rao sir for and also the audience who patiently heard for this 40 minutes. Thank you, one and all.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. And maybe I think there might be few questions from the audience, ma'am. The first question is how our Indian Constitution is unique when compared to other constitutions of the world, ma'am.
Yes, because in other constitutions, for example, if you take the American Constitution or any other constitution, we have only the Bill of Rights where only the rights are been incorporated. But whereas the other powers are been with the other organizations or department as such. But when we see the Indian Constitution, each and every aspect of the citizen of the government are been included in our Constitution. That is the unique feature of the Indian Constitution, that right from the individual right up to the duties of a president are being incorporated in our constitution. That is the reason it is the lengthiest constitution, but at the same time, we are addressing each and every person in our constitution. That is the reason I said that this is a unique constitution.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And audience, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Or you can type in the chat window, I can retweet for you. Audience, anybody has any questions? Ma'am, I think they are getting ready. Let me ask you one more question. Generally, how amendments are made, ma'am? Generally, how amendment to the Constitution will take place?
Based upon the situation, sir. For example, if you take the 42nd Amendment, the basic one, 42nd Amendment, where the socialist and secularism has been secular has been included in the Constitution, where because we have a number of religions in our country, so each and every religion has to be respected by each other, or it is the duty of every individual as such. So when they feel that there is a necessity for amending the law, there is a necessity to incorporate under the Indian Constitution, then they go for an amendment as such. For example, if you see the recent amendment that is made because of a GST, where the taxes which have been laid upon the individuals as such, how the taxes have been, it has to be, there must be a way to incorporate as such. That is the reason they made the Constitution to be amended, and they included and incorporated in the Constitution as such.
I don't know. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think there are no other questions, ma'am. So I thank you very much for giving a wonderful talk on the importance of Indian Constitution, ma'am. I think hope the audience have benefited from this, and we are looking once again. I thank our director and deputy director, sir, for giving the permission to hold this webinar. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Goodbye, all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.